Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, September 11th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to my podcast, welcome. Thank you so much for finding me. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com for all about my events, my work, how to book an appointment. I would appreciate it so much. I am also on YouTube. You're probably listening to this on YouTube, so please like, subscribe, and share if you will. On Instagram, under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp, TikTok, Facebook business page. I'm trying to be accessible and everywhere and to help people serve as much as I can. So please find me on all those places and follow. Like and follow. It would be so appreciated. And for those of you coming back week by week and leave wonderful comments and likes, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And my followers are little by little growing, and I love it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the growth happening. It would just be so great. It's our way of helping each other, I would like to think. And if there's any topic that you would like me to address, please feel free, because sometimes I do wonder what to talk about. What is the best topic to take on? So suggestions are welcomed. If I don't know enough about it, I'll let you know, but I also am a learner by nature, a student. So I don't mind learning and then talking about it. So yes, please feel free. Okay, so let's get started. What a week. What a week. But I do want to start off this podcast by acknowledging September 11th, and especially to those who lost loved ones that day. The hardest loss is a child. You never get over it. And many lost their children that day. And many lost spouses and siblings and parents. And you move forward, but you never move on. And the whole remains a crater, but it can get smaller a little bit. Time does have that miraculous way of healing, but the gaping hole will still remain. And in everything there is a purpose. And being a human being like you, I don't say that lightly. When we hear every year, never forget, I often wonder, well, okay, what would you like us to do with never forgetting? What greater blessing can come of that time? How can the earth be a better place? It's not just about acknowledging an anniversary. It's how do we move forward from it and see the blessings from it, because there are always some within every tragedy, every bit of loss, every moment. And so how can we become a larger version of ourselves through that experience? Whether we just experienced it by being an audience member and feeling the empathy, or do we experience it through that tremendous loss, indescribable loss? It is more than just remembering. This morning I heard a wife, and when she said, "Do not forget," she wanted to put the attention on those who are still getting sick from the effects of the rubble. See, a cause. What can we do to take care of ourselves? We all should be taking care of ourselves. We are one. We are a oneness. And that's really the topic I want to speak about today. Because, yes, those of you who listen to me every week have an understanding of this, but we're still, as a world population, embracing this, and more of us are embracing this every day. But so many do not yet understand your own power, your own personal power, and how it affects the events of this world, how you affect the events of this world, as well as your own personal story. I happen, and you'll notice this if you go to my website, I happen to channel it. It's found under gifts and subscriptions on my scheduling page. And I channel spirit guides, I channel angels, and I channel ascended masters. Ascended masters, and believe me, they are in control of that channeling. They arrive when they want to arrive, and only when they want to. They're very much the leaders there. I obey them. And the ascended masters are those higher beings, such as a Jesus Christ, or a Blessed Mother Mary, or a Saint John of God, or Saint Germain. Just a few examples. And I had to do a couple channelings this week. One of, it was requested of me. One was of a spirit guide, and we all have angels, we all have spirit guides, as well as our departed loved ones around us. We're never alone for one moment. We always have human souls or beings with us, which is a very wonderful, comforting thing, because they're serving us. So as I went to channel this week, I noticed a synchronicity, and the first time I double checked it, and the second time I double checked it, and that was the names that were coming up of these beings were variations of the name Charles. And I immediately thought, my human self, on the first time, oh, his name is just in your head. You have to make sure you have this correct. You have to correct this. But no, that was the name. And then the second time it happened, it was a variation of Charles. It happened again. I went, no, it's got to be, because I'm hearing his name everywhere. No. That is how much we are all connected, in that a new king has been crowned. And the events of that being all over the news, in our minds, in countries that the UK currently rules, because it's pervasive, it attracts, it manifests beings to come forward to speak, beings to come forward to be connected to us. Now, it was the whole, it was oneness doing that. It wasn't just me, with them, him on my mind, that name on my mind. However, I am part of the oneness, as you are part of the oneness. Those names were legitimate. They were acknowledging. They were also acknowledging, I got a sense on the second channeling, the momentousness of this moment of this week. So it was not only a manifestation, but acknowledgement of this event with Charles. But larger was the manifestation, to a smaller degree, to make it clear to understand. When you're thinking about buying a red car, you may notice you should notice you see red cars everywhere. It's because you are attracting red cars by your attention on wanting a red car. That's what they say, be careful what you wish for. Now, I always took that because it was taught to me by people to be more negative about things at times. That might be negative. Be careful what you wish for, you'll get it. Like that. But truly, it's positive. What you put your focus on with energy, with emotions, with your mentality, with your visions, will bring its way to you. Now, all the millionaires and billionaires, and I mean the multimillionaires, know this. They know this. So there are many now, I don't want to say many, but there's more than one good spiritual teacher that is wealthy, that is trying to teach all of us how to wire ourselves to attract what we do want instead of what we don't want, because we bring to our lives what we don't want almost on autopilot, because we're not thinking about it. We're just putting our energy out and it's responding to us. Another wonderful example that I have known before, realized before, is that many of us are Christians and celebrate Christmas Eve, the birth of Jesus, the official birth date of Jesus. And I will say to you that Jesus Christ is very close to earth on that evening, because we all who would celebrate his birthday, who would get together with family, who would do our traditions, we are emitting out a vibration towards him, and he will respond to us. I would not be surprised if the miracles of Christmas are his doing at times, because miracles happen. His love surrounds us at that time because we are engaged with him. So you are not a small little particle in this universe that is not of any importance. Oh, do you matter? Everything that each of us does matters. Everything that each of us says matters. Everything, especially that each of us feels, matters. This week, I've been greatly affected by the passing of the Queen, because of all the wonderful things that have been said about her. When someone passes that is let's say, known more, of more celebrity, you hear about them afterwards. You hear the stories that you really didn't hear before. The later moments, the moments when she was the most kind. And I found this week naturally that I wanted to be more gentle, that I wanted to be kinder. And that is a good thing. That is how we're supposed to affect each other. I, in my own way, loved that feeling, wanted to honor that feeling. So I became a higher version of myself this week. And yes, it will stay. But I noticed it. But I also noticed, and I've noticed it quite a bit even before this week, that there are those of us humans that want to be, I want to say, our not so nice selves, our meanest selves. You know, sometimes it's just about how we talk about ourselves. And about how we look, or how poor we are or something like that. It's a very powerful statement. If you want to stay poor, speak about how poor you are. If you want to stay not happy with your body, speak about how unhappy you are with your body. There's a difference between making an intention of being a greater version of yourself and owning it through speaking about it as if it is fact and reality and it cannot change. Change is a factor of life. Change is always happening, and change is always for our higher good. There's nothing that stays the same in this world. There's always the flow of change. You cannot avoid it. And the more that you try to avoid it, the greater the hammer of it will come upon you. So I've noticed a bit people just being cruel to each other. Just being mean. Now, that is healing that needs to take place within that person. When you are mean to another, you're asking for love. You're screaming for love. When you are in any way acting out of hate or bigotry or racism or violence, you are screaming. It's like a literal screaming for hugs. Every villain ever in this world we've lived in has been someone who needed massive love. Unfortunately, sometimes a hug is not going to do it. It's too late. So we have to fight them in other ways or deal with it in other ways. I don't particularly like the word fight, because fight brings resistance. Fight brings more of what you don't want. However, yes, sometimes we have had to go to war against those who had cruel pasts, who weren't loved enough, who we didn't take seriously their experiences. And then we got ourselves into a world happening. That is why it's so important to be aware of each other. Now, that doesn't mean it's your responsibility to cure every ill. When you see, wherever it may be, social media or a bumper sticker about kindness mattering, that is an understatement. All you have to do is be kind. Smile. Try. It matters. Do you know when you pass, you will get a review. We can't avoid it. And in that review, you will find out the moments that you made such a huge difference in someone's life. And all you did probably was open a door. Every moment that we take a second to think of someone else, we are making a higher difference. It is the same as donating millions upon millions of dollars. A smile. Generosity in any way doesn't have to be monetary. Now, yes, sometimes, and I'm just thinking of this myself, my clients aren't often aware that I work in some way every day. It is very rare. Like today is my day off and I'm talking to you. And I don't mind at all. I do not mind. There are days though on Sunday that I talk on my podcast, then I'm down for the day. But most of the time that doesn't happen. I give, and I came to this world to give. And I have a bit of a wait right now, about 2 months to see me, maybe 2.5. And some of my clients want me to work more. And I am a one-person operation with what I do. So I really can't work more. But do I look? Do I try? Do I extend myself? Always. But yes, for some that may not be enough for me to try. Because we all can be in our place where, come on, can't you do me a favor? My situation is different. And I understand. I have empathy. So people will not always understand that you are giving more, that you are serving to the best of your ability. And yes, at their wholeness of themselves, people would not say, I want you to kill yourself for me. No, they're not like that. They just hope for the best, and things do work out sometimes because they are on a good wave of manifestation. So you can't my point is that you try your best with generosity and kindness and paying it forward and doing what you can, being kind. But that doesn't mean that you're always going to please everybody. But what it does mean is that good karma will be on your side and that the overall good of the world will benefit from you. You will do your part, even if one person or two people are not happy with you. If you're doing your part in kindness and trying to serve, being patient, then good karma is on your side. And what is good karma? Things will always turn out all right for you, even if you have a rocky path. Even if you think, I don't know how strong I am to do this. It will always turn around. It will always change for the better. And I'm talking about you personally. Everybody has their own personal story, as well as their oneness story of being part of the whole. So in other words, if someone you love is struggling, you be your highest self. You give generously. But you also know you can't control what they're doing. You cannot change them. They can only change by your example, by your vibration when they're ready to. And the higher good will always be happening. I feel like I've given you a lot to think about today, haven't I? But it's all truth. It is all truth. Every single one of us on this earth has human moments. If indeed the story of Christ in the temple was true, he had a human moment where he didn't like the changers, the people in the temple with their tables and selling their goods. And so there's many dramatizations that have him picking up a stick and destroying. And I am of one, if I'm not there, did it happen? But if it did, he was in a human body. It is impossible to be perfect here. Impossible. I have not found one yet. I'm open to it. One person who is. As always, I have met people who are very holy. I have met people who are close. I strive to be close to that perfection inside. I want, when my energy enters a room, for people to just smile, no matter what, because they feel that vibration from me. that makes them want to. But as of now, we are all works in progress. We all have days where we struggle. We all have days where we're tired, where we feel held down or overwhelmed. I try to correct it immediately when I have those days, or those, I call them moments more, because I don't really have days of it. But I can wake up cranky, but I go right to it when I do. In fact, recently, I made a conscious effort. No, don't start the day like this. Start the day in peace and in gratitude. Because how you start your day is how your day goes. The weight of the world can get to us, especially we're all becoming more empaths. So it's so important to protect yourself, to take care of yourself. Get into nature. Take a break. Listen to good music. Don't eat a lot of processed food. I'm not a dietitian. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you what it needs. It'll tell you when it needs attention. It'll tell you when it needs vegetables. It'll tell you when it needs protein. It'll tell you when it needs chocolate. It will tell you what it needs. Be aware. Be your own best friend. Take care of yourself. So very important at this time, because when you're out of sorts, you do not have the capacity to take care of, you don't have the capacity as well as you could to control your emotions, to feel good. You'll be out of whack. And when you're out of whack and something happens, you react to it in a way that is not your higher self. Perhaps with shortness of temper or tears. So you can be as strong as you possibly can be by really having a spirit and a vessel that's top notch. Then it doesn't mean you don't enjoy a football game today with a little bit of wine or beer or something if you want to. If you feel that you want to do that, we're allowed to have fun. It just means that overall, you honor yourself and you honor others through giving them your best possible personality, your best possible feelings, your smile, your kindness, your gratitude. When's the last time you told somebody how much they mean to you? I tried to do it. I could probably do it even more, but I've done it before. Because it's meaningful. Even if the person has a shield, they're hearing you. It's seeding. We want to know that we matter. We want to know that our existence matters, that we are important. And here's another thing I want to say. There's so much attention on our monarchy this week. In the eyes of heaven, we are all equal. We are all kings. We are all queens. But that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy the pomp and the circumstance and the tiaras and the castles and the history, and to learn from the history, because not all history is good. Knowing history is very important, by the way, because it's where you make the corrections. It's where you learn the lessons and evolve. I think there's just a bit of a little bit of a focus on that. The difference between a level and another level, but there's really no levels. In heaven, there's no poverty or middle class or higher class, rich class. We all are equal. And as that drops on down to earth, you, being of true equality to someone who is very powerful or wealthy, have the ability to attain whatever you want, whatever they have access to. If you want to do that, study their habits, study what they do, learn from them. There is nothing happening on this earth that is set in stone for you or for the earth. We create our futures. Predictions made by prophets or intuitive life coaches are always about where the energy of the person has lined up, or the energy of the world has lined up. And energy is changeable, but it's probability. This is likely to happen because enough energy has gone that way. But is it 100% set in stone? No. Because you have the power within at any moment to change your life and the life of others. And sometimes you won't get the benefit of knowing how you've changed others. So come from that place of kindness, gratitude, humanity in the highest sense, and trust. You will get to know your impact. One day you will have all knowledge of it, but trust that the best is happening, the higher good is happening. Even when tragedy happens, there's always a sliver of higher good, even if it's just a sliver. There's a higher purpose to it. It is raw and rough on this earth at times. We suffer great pain here. But we can always help each other to get through it together. There is always someone who understands at some level what you're going through. They may not be able to understand being you completely, but they understand at some level. That's the way it's supposed to be, that we all help each other. That we all help each other. And we all have gifts to give. You have a gift that I do not have. Allow your gifts to be out there. Allow your gifts to bloom, whether it be art or music or reading or time, your gentleness, whatever it is. Allow your gifts to bloom. It is so, so very important. So what I'm saying to you, without it at all meaning to get in trouble, is in the next 8 days there will be a funeral for a monarch. And you are just as important as that monarch. Walk around like the queen or king that you are. And bring into your life what you want to through focusing only on the good, the kindness, the thoughts of knowing what you can have, of being what you can be. Understanding your power and thinking, no, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to walk around feeling and thinking this. And then watch. You will see energy respond to you. And you will also get so expert at this that you will see what energy is responding to you that you don't want. You'll be like, oh yeah, I did that. And then you can fix it right away. It's the same as when you cut somebody accidentally out in traffic, or do it purposefully maybe, and then someone cuts you out. And then you go, oh yeah, I had that coming. Very simple explanation. But as you are more aware of your power and you'll become even more powerful. We're all coming to this place, and notice how you feel and heal it. When you feel rage, heal it. When you feel sadness, anything other than joy or happiness, go at it. Because you see, you don't want to have a dis-ease from the storage of it. And you also want to be able to be happy. It's what you deserve. Take care of you. Love those around you, especially the unlovable. You don't have to do it verbally. Just be kind. Have patience. Don't engage sometimes. Peace. Try it. Watch. It will make such a difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. It is a time of change. It is spin time. I just want to pop popcorn and watch it all, really. It's so interesting to see the waves of change that can come into a world. It's happening. It is happening. Be aware. But most importantly, center into yourself and take care of you within it. And don't worry. Change always happens for the good, even when we need a seatbelt. And if you really liked or connected with in any way with this podcast today, please like, subscribe, and share. And again, please follow me on all my social media sites. Appointments are available via Zoom and telephone as well if you're not in the Mid-Atlantic area of the States. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday and a blessed week.